Testing, testing. Is the sound coming true, Truth Seeker? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you say, I can hear you? All right. Here we go. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this, how I decode the football games. I wanted to do this earlier, but better late than never. This is probably going to take at least a half hour because we're going to do a thorough decode. I'm going to be explaining as we go. I always like to get the screen captures to put in there so people can see what time the game was, what the date was, what the spread was before the game. Sometimes I capture the day before and just up to the game. We're looking at Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football, and already what I'm thinking about is the number 42, that number of the Freemasons, because Washington's the 42nd state. Buffalo's up on the 42nd parallel. I'm thinking 42 is going to be a big number tonight. I'm not going to take the time to do this in this video. Hold on, I just want to check real quick to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys still hear me? All right, good. You can still hear me. Somebody said it's blurry. If it's blurry, this is the best I can do tonight. I'll figure out how to make it better. I'm new at this, so this is the trial run. All right, so we got Bills at Seahawks. What I always want to look up is what the head-to-head records are of these teams to start. So you can just do a search, Bills, Seahawks, head-to-head record. It'll pop right up. Seattle Seahawks versus the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so tonight's game is going to be the 13th game all-time. 13th. When you read this, this is the Seattle Seahawks record against the Buffalo Bills. So this means the Seahawks have beat the Bills 7 times and lost 5. I'm noticing right away tonight, if the Seahawks lost, they'd be 7-6 against the Bills. 7-6. The Seahawks joined the NFL in 76. Also, Percy Harvin's going to be playing on the Bills against the Seahawks tonight. Percy Harvin in Gematria sums to 67. He was on a $67 million contract with the Seahawks. Reflection of that, 76. So right away, that's just something that's on my mind. I'm looking at that 7-6. If you know the numbers and history of these teams, you can, start to think about some things, start to form some pictures. It doesn't always mean it's the correct picture, but a lot of times these games are tributes to the past. So Seahawks lead the series 7-5. A loss tonight would make them 7-6. A win would make them 8-5. And just when you know these things, like I just know it off the top of my head, National Football League's 85. Seattle Seahawks joined the NFL in 76. Just good to make these little notations, things you're aware of, because you might see a larger pattern just being aware of these numbers. The Seahawks are big favorites tonight, but we've seen some big favorites this week get upset. All right, so what's the next thing we want to look at? The stats of the quarterbacks, the stats of the coaches, they often give us big clues. So we want to look at the stats of the quarterback, the stats of the coaches. Let's do the quarterbacks first. A good way to do this is just write QB win-loss record in Google. And I hate to plug Google, but it'll bring up a great index for you. This football database right here, it's got everybody's win-loss record all time for regular season and all time. And I like to look at both because sometimes the riddle's in one or the other. So we'll look at Russell Wilson first, the starter tonight for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, interesting. So right away, something huge I see already. And just in case you're new here, let me show you on the Gematria calculator so you don't have to take my word for it. I see that this is going to be Russell Wilson's 82nd game all time, and Seattle has that Gematria of 82. Here we are, Monday night, prime time. Russell Wilson, 82nd game of his career. Interesting. 82. He's coming into the game with 81 career games played. We're going to take a screen capture of that. We're going to look more carefully at the home and win record. We're also going to capture his regular season stats, see if anything's interesting there. Where are you, Russell Wilson? There we go. So Russell Wilson, it's going to be his 72nd regular season game tonight. 72. Means he's played in a lot of playoff games, as we know. For a young quarterback, had some serious success. Been in 2 Super Bowls already. How many QBs can say that? You know? Don't worry, it's all scripted, Truth Seeker. So anyway, Russell Wilson, number 82 tonight. So I'd write a sentence like, it's going to be his 82nd game tonight. And then I'd, just Seattle, logic. Okay, that's interesting. Home game in Seattle. 12th man. We should look at the team history of these teams, too. We'll end up looking at the Monday Night Football. The more we look at this, the more clues are going to be revealed. The stronger the pattern we see, the more we can favor who's going to win this game. Russell Wilson, something I notice. All-time, here we'll look on this other screen because it's bigger. Going to go to his all-time stats. Russell Wilson, he's at 57 wins right now. He's looking for number 58. 58's a very special number. Freemasonry equals 58. Secret Society, what runs the NFL. We could look at the schedule. Sometimes, if we looked at the schedule and we saw that next week's team had a 58 name Gematria, that might be a clue that Russell Wilson's going to get his win next week against the 58 team. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just telling you things to look at when you're decoding. So we can pull up here. We can pull up the Seahawks schedule. Seattle Seahawks schedule, just to see. Sometimes there's a major clue like that, and you say, okay, I think I got this narrative figured out already. Clue. Sometimes when you're talking and typing and trying to record a show, things don't come out right. Seattle Seahawks schedule. Let's see who they play. We know they're playing the Buffalo Bills tonight. Who's coming up next? Hold on here, Truth Seeker. We got the Bills tonight, then the Patriots. Oh, wow. Patriots. So we got a rematch of Super Bowl 59. Truth Seeker, with regards to 58, I made the point about how tonight's the 58th game, or he's going for his 58th win, Russell Wilson, tonight. Show you something about the name Washington in Gematria. The name Washington in Gematria fits into the picture. Remember, the Seahawks lost in Super Bowl 49 to the Patriots. The word Washington has Gematria 49, as you see on the screen, but with the S exception, that's where you make S worth 9 more, which is an important rule to know. Washington equals 58. So we got his 82nd game going for his 58th win at home against the Buffalo Bills in Washington. That is interesting. So we got to do some more work. We're keeping things in mind. I can tell you off the top of my head, knowing this knowledge, New England Patriots doesn't equal 58, so there's nothing there in terms of that regard. Let's take a peek at the other quarterback. The other quarterback tonight is Tyrod Taylor for the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be his 22nd game all time. Okay, now that's already getting interesting because the word football in Gematria sums to 22. So big game here for Tyrod Taylor, number 22. See how many regulars. He should have the same regular and playoffs because, he's never been to the playoffs, but just be double check. So he comes in with 21 games played, 11 wins. Going for game number 22, he wants either his 12th win or his 11th loss. And wouldn't that be symbolic to get your 12th win on the road in Seattle where it's home of the 12th man? So we're going to put down his stats here to look at them more carefully. See if we see anything with tonight. Gotta wait for that upload. And you know what, Truth Seeker? I am being a bad teacher tonight. I got a little bit sidetracked from how I wanted to start this, just getting this thing started up. I always begin with the date numerology. And there's 4 methods you want to do at least. I'm going to show them to you. This way you add it 11 plus 7 plus 20 plus 16. You add the day plus the month plus the year in 2 parts. I had to turn that down. That was too loud. I don't know if you guys could hear that. But anyway, coming back. Date numerology of 54. Okay, that's standing out to me. Baseball. Baseball equals 54. If I'm not mistaken, Russell Wilson also played baseball like a lot of football players. We just saw the World Series finish up. We saw how 2 weeks ago on Sunday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks were used as part of the World Series ritual with the 6-6 tie against the Cardinals. Got a video on that. This year in the NFL, it was the first year with back-to-back weeks of ties in the NFL since 1997, the year the Indians lost in Game 7. This year, the Indians lost in Game 7 again. Not a coincidence. Your sports are scripted. It's a date with 27 numerology. That's MLB. Remember, Indians scored 27. Cubs scored 27. First time it had happened since 1948 where the Indians were in the World Series. What else do we got for a date numerology? These are the methods you want to do. Exactly like how I'm doing it. Just write down the steps, do the notes, get in the practice of yourself, make it a reflex. Also a date with 18 numerology, baseball the small way. So, here we are right after the World Series. Are they going to use the Seahawks in another football primetime ritual? The numbers are pointing towards very possibly. And also what I want to point out here are the other connections. I didn't mean to write baseball. Bills also equals 18. So Bills and baseball, we got a connection with the Bills. Bills with the X exception is also 27. So we got 2 date connections to the Bills. That's very interesting. Big underdogs tonight, but the upset could come. Date with 34 numerology. That's the 139th prime number. Freemasonry is like this. 58 the small way. We're talking about Russell Wilson going for his 58th win. 67 with the S exception, 139. Just things to think about. Remember, game in the 42nd state, team from the 42nd parallel, 42, number of the Freemasons. Today's date, 11 plus 7, also has the 18 connection. We already talked about 18. So, interesting for the Bills. The date numerology, it points to Bills. And, oh, God, I'm forgetting things here. Bills the big way is also 54. Let me just show you this on the calculator. So, again, you don't have to take my word for it. Bills the small way, 18. With the S exception, plus 9 more, 27. The big way, 54. Remember, Jets and Bills, I talked about 54 with these teams earlier this year. Big game by the numbers. 54 is an important number in Saturn worship, which connects to 93, 39, and 93. Big numbers in New York. No doubt why 54 is coded on these 2 New York football teams. This game's coming on the night before the election. New York heavy. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, the Clinton political dynasty, the first governors of New York. Your sports are synced up with your current events. All right, so Russell Wilson. Let's again look at the stats, see what we've looked at so far. It's going to be his 82nd game, Seattle 82. Going for his 58th win, that Freemasonry number, or his 24th loss tonight. Could be his 24th loss all time. The Seahawks, because they got S and Ks in their names have a lot of Gematria combinations. In Pythagorean Gematria, and again, I'll just show it to you. Seahawks the small way sums to 24 with no exceptions. The big way, 87. Now, 87 is a big number for Clinton. We just saw the Cubs World Series tribute, and 8-7, Hillary's favorite team, the Chicago Cubs, being born in Chicago, Illinois. Again, in spring training, I said the World Series was scripted for the Cubs, a tribute to Hillary. Seahawks got the 87 connection. Interesting. The small way, 24. Russell Wilson could potentially get his 24th loss tonight. At home, he has 34 wins, like today's date numerology. He's going for number 35 or potentially loss number 7. So 35 or 7. We're in week 9. It's the 97th season. Potential tribute there if he got his 7th loss at home in week 9. That's a little abstract, though. I don't weigh that kind of evidence as heavily. I'll consider it. I'll think about it. I'm just trying to lay out for you the way things go through my mind when I'm decoding. I also noticed Russell Wilson in the regular season coming in with 71 games. That was another huge number on the World Series. It had been 71 years since the Cubs were in the World Series. It began on a date with 71 numerology, plus a million other things. Ended in the 17th state, Ohio, the reflection of 71 with the weird 17-minute rain delay. We already saw the Seahawks used once in a tribute to the World Series. Why would they use the Seahawks Truth Seeker? Here's my thought. If you look up your NFL history, the first Seahawks NFL team was out of Miami. They were the Miami Seahawks. They folded up after a season, and they ended up becoming the Baltimore Colts. This is way back in the start of the NFL early days. Seahawks, Miami, Remember, the Indians played Miami in the 97 World Series. The Cubs lost to Miami in the NLCS, plus there's Back to the Future with Chicago Cubs in Miami. So perhaps the Seahawks carry the Miami tradition in these rituals. Just a thought. Russell Wilson in the regular season's going for his 51st win. 51st win. By the way, we should always decode the names of the players. Make sure you spell their names right. Make sure you take into consideration the S exceptions. Do it first and last, and do it separate. Get the first and last name and the complete name. You want to be thorough. The more you decode, the more you see. Notice how the name Russell Wilson is 54. We're talking about 54 date numerology. Bills, at Seahawks. Russell Wilson is 82nd game. Are you seeing how we do this? The more you decode, the more you think, the more evidence you get. And it takes enough evidence to see the narrative. It's like last Monday night when I figured out that Papa Bear died 33 years to the day before Monday Night Football, the Bears founder. No doubt they were winning. Obviously, that's the way this league is scripted. Scripted rituals, scripted tributes. Look at this. Papa Bear. Remember last week, Monday Night Football, Bears upset the Vikings 33 years to the day that Papa Bear died. Everything on Monday Night Football is 33. That's why you got the Chucky-faced John Gruden. Or I didn't mean to write Chucky. I meant to write Gruden. Remember when they used to have Dennis Miller making no sense up there? There's so many more examples, but those are some good ones. So anyway, 54 heavy on this game, 54 often paired with 93, number of Saturn worship. Hillary became first lady in 93. We've seen a lot of 93 tributes in these recent weeks. Russell Wilson, born on a date with 39 numerology. Last year on his birthday, he defeated the Steelers with 39 points. 39, the reflection of 93. So, okay, we're looking at the quarterbacks. We're looking at Russell Wilson pretty thoroughly. He wants his 51st win in the regular season or his 21st loss. When you write out 21 as a word, it sums to 42, like Washington, the 42nd state, like Buffalo on the 42nd parallel. By the way, to find coordinates, it's this simple, Truth Seeker. Just type in the city name and the word coordinates. They'll just pop right up. Boom. Seattle. On the 47th parallel, number that represents time. The Space Needle has a rotating restaurant that does a full rotation every 47 minutes. Buffalo, New York. What's its coordinates? 42. Washington, the 42nd state. 42, the number of the Freemasons. To find statehood, just write states in order of statehood. Web search will pull it right up. Just go there. You got all your states. Tonight we're in Washington, number 42. Number of the Freemasons. Can't say it enough. Seahawks, with the S exception, sums to 42. All right, so Tyrod Taylor coming in with 21, going for number 22, the football number. And sorry, earlier I think I misspoke and said football in Gematria sums to 22. I just mean that there's 22 men on the field in football. The master builder number, 22. He's going for his 12th win at the home of the 12th man, or he's going for his 11th loss, coming from New York, the 11th state. On the road, he's 5-6. If he loses tonight, he'll be 5-7. World Series, 57. If he wins, he'll be 6-6. Interesting number, very relevant number to New York. When you sum 1 through 11, it totals 66, but still, it's not enough evidence. So here's what else we should do. Well, we took the name and name Gematria of Russell Wilson. Let's take it for Tyrod Taylor as well. See what Tyrod Taylor's name is. 56. The word president's 56. 173. The 40th prime. Hillary 40. Amazing. Things to consider. Also, what you want to look at, the birthdays. You want to look at the birthdays of these men. Tyrod. Hold on here. Tyrod Taylor birthday, all you got to type in. August 3rd, he has Tom Brady's birthday. August 3rd, remember football, the big way is 83. August 3rd, 1989. Let's see how many days it is from his birthday. August 3rd to today November 7th. Make sure you got your dates right. 96 days. Very interesting. This is why I love decoding and showing how these games are scripted. Here's what you need to know about 96. If you take the number 42, Washington the 42nd state, Buffalo on the 42nd parallel, and you add their divisors, they sum to 96. 42 and 96 have a relationship. The word Freemason, the big way, is 96. When you take the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, 31, 32, 33, you add them together, they sum to 96. Freemason, the small way, 42. You know the Freemason compass and square, the big G in the middle? Big G, 42. That's where the method where you multiply each letter times 6. G is the 7th letter. 7 times 6 is 42. In Francis Bacon Gematria, that's where lowercase a through lowercase z is 1 through 26. Uppercase a through uppercase z is 27 through 52. Big G can also represent 33, number of Freemason obsession. So Tyrod Taylor, his birthday is 96 days. So, we can just write this down. We don't need to print screen it all. When I make the post, I like to print screen it so everyone can see. But I can just write Tyrod Taylor's birthday is August 3rd, 96 days before the game, or a span of 97 days. And just so you know what I mean with that span of 97 days, this calculator, what it's doing is it's saying that November 7th comes 96 days after August 3rd. If you count August 3rd as well, it's 97 total days. And this is the 97th season of the NFL. 97 is the 25th prime number. Russell equaled 25, if you recall. Russell, with the S exception, sums to 43, just like Seattle Seahawks, who won with 43 points on the 33rd day of the year, where Russell Wilson was the starting quarterback. So anyway, Tyrod Taylor's birthday, 96 days before the game, or a span of 97 days. What I also recommend doing in these checks is going the other way around, too, towards the upcoming birthday to see how many days the game is before the upcoming birthday. 269 days or a span of 270 days. I don't see anything super interesting there. Sometimes it's very interesting how it locks up both ways. And to me, the way I weigh that is, perhaps this is the chosen birthday. This is even more special for this individual. Again, I'm someone decoding from the outside, putting together the pieces of the puzzle as I research them more and more each day. Now, I know Russell Wilson's birthday off the top of my head. It's November 29th, but I just want you to see yourself. His birthday is November 29th, 1988. The reason I know that and remember that, think about how this date breaks down to 11-11. If Tyrod Taylor loses tonight, he'll be 11-11. 2-9 is 2 plus 9 is 11. 11th month, 29th day. Anyway, the reason I remember that is because this is the day the Zionist nation of Israel was born, which is who controls this nation. Our money, our entertainment. This is who we serve. They're the masters of these games. So anyway, Russell Wilson's birthday is upcoming. From tonight's game to the 29th is 22 days. Whoops, I did 2017, excuse me. 22 days, the football number, or a span of 23 days. From his last birthday, where he won with 39 points against the Steelers, to today's game is 344 days, or 11 months and 9 days, or 49 weeks and 1 day. Okay, those numbers are popping out at me a little bit. The 119, we know about 119, all-seeing eye 119, Star of David 119, Star of David, the Zionist symbol. Russell Wilson, born on the date that the nation with the Star of David was created, November 29th, 1947. Seattle up on the 47th parallel. 49, the number of revelation. Washington equals 49. A lot of things lining up for Russell Wilson at home tonight in terms of the numbers. He has that Clinton connection. So we'll write for Russell Wilson. Birthday is November 29th. Game comes 22 days before his birthday. He's facing Tyrod Taylor in his 22nd NFL game. And 344 days after last birthday. And something you should also pay attention to is their current age. Russell Wilson's 27. We talked about how today's date numerology connects to 27, MLB number. If I'm not mistaken, Russell Wilson played baseball as well as football. How old was Tyrod Taylor? He's younger. Want to pay attention to their ages? Or no, I'm mistaken. He's actually older. He's 27, born a few months before Russell Wilson. So maybe even just to be even more thorough, let's look at they're different in age. They were both born in 89. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number. So we got August 3rd, 1989 to November 29th, 1989. They were born 118 days apart. Okay, you guys, tomorrow is Election Day, November 8th. It is November 8th, Election Day tomorrow. It's also 119 days. And you know what that makes me think of? I don't think I did Tyrod Taylor's name. Hold on. There was something I did at the beginning of the season with Tyrod Taylor. He has some connection to 119. Maybe it's in his birth numerology. You can always be thorough. You can calculate these men's names out all the way. Look at here. We forgot to do Tyrod. Tyrod is 82. Like Seattle, it's Russell Wilson's 82nd game. Do you guys understand what I say when I say these people are Manchurian athletes born and bred to fill the positions for these planned and scripted games that are synced up with history? You know, how could all this be? Taylor. What's Taylor alone? See if we get anything from Taylor. 91. When you sum 1 through 13, it totals 91. 28, the reflection of 82. Forgot to do Tyrod the small way. 28. Okay, so now we know how Tyrod Taylor syncs up with 82. We should make a note about that. You know, Russell Wilson's 82nd game. Big game at home. All right, so we looked at the birthdays. To me, between the birthdays, what's standing out more is Tyrod Taylor's, the 96-42 connection, 97th season. You know, prime time, they like the big upsets. Everyone's expecting the Seahawks to beat the Bills tonight. They're big favorites. Seahawks mainly win at home. Notice the Seahawks are currently 4-2. If the Seahawks lost tonight, they would become 4-3 like Seattle Seahawks the small way. Again, Seattle Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 with 43 points. 4 plus 8 is 12, like Seattle's 12th man. So Seahawks, if they became 4-3 tonight, that'd make a lot of sense. The Bills would also become 5-4, you know? 54, big number on the game. Seahawks offense this year has been slacking. That'll be the narrative if they lose. They can't get the offense cracking. And by the way, I just thought of another 42 while we're on the subject. The head coach of the Bills is Rex Ryan, another 42. 105 the big way, like Zionism, like Masonry the big way. Let's now look at the coaches and see what we can get there from the coaches for this game. I'm going to close some windows so I don't crash here. Sometimes my computer crashes. I think the street sweeper's coming by. Funny that happens. All right, Rex Ryan coaching record. We're going to look at Rex Ryan's coaching record. Don't always take what's up here on the screen that Google pops up. A lot of times the information is incorrect. This Pro Football Reference, they will have the records correct if you come here. So Rex Ryan, tonight it's going to be his 121st game all-time. Revelation, the big way is 121. The small way, 49. They're in Washington, which equals 49. He's looking for his 59th win or his 63rd loss. Comes in with 58 wins. Again, Washington with the S exception, 58. With Buffalo, this is going to be his 25th game. Again, 97's the 25th prime. We're in the 97th season. He's looking for his 13th win or his 13th loss. So we'll put up his stats up here. We'll take a screen capture of the stats. Take a screen capture of the birthday. His birthday is December 13th. His 54th birthday is coming up. Let's see how many days away his 54th birthday is. We know 54 is a big number on the game. November 7th to, what was it, December 13th? How many days do we got here? 36 days, also a span of 37 days. How many days has it been since his last birthday? Double check that. Uh-oh. Got a lag. Hold on. Well, hold on. We'll come back to that. It seems to be frozen right now. Do it one more time here. Want to be thorough with that. But you guys can appreciate how long this takes. I mean, there's dealing with the, technical difficulties, copy and pasting. Takes some time to do this. If I really grind, though, I can grind these out in 20 minutes. I can get the majority of the details there if I just work real hard and focus without the explanation and everything. But I'm trying to make sure you guys are following, hearing how I'm thinking. From his last birthday to tonight's game, 330 days. That's a lot like 33. Monday Night Football, 33, the big number. Rex Ryan. You know what I would do? If you were serious as a gambler, and I'm not a gambler, otherwise I'd be more motivated to do this. I would create a database or a set of flashcards with all these names decoded for the quarterbacks and coaches, the birth numerology decoded. You could just quickly flip through it. Okay, these are the starting quarterbacks. Here's their numbers for their names, their birthdays. You could just have those indexes ready to go and not decode them every time. And that's what I should be doing too, just even as someone teaching this knowledge, just being more organized about it. If you had indexes ready to go with these people's numbers, their birth numerology, their name gematria, you could sync those right away with the date numerology of the games being played. Compare it with the records, see what pops out, because a lot of times those are the way these games are decided. So anyway, that's Rex Ryan. We'll paste his stats in here. Then we'll look up the coach of the Seahawks, which is Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll formerly coached the Patriots and the Jets, who play in this same division as the Bills. So in a way, a little bit of history there. 36 days till his 54th birthday. Okay, let's look at Pete Carroll now. Pete Carroll. Same process, Pro Football Reference. We'll look at his birthday. His birthday passed at the start of this season, September 15th. Remember, the season began on September 11th. Pete Carroll with the Seahawks. This is going to be his 104th game tonight. Remember, 7-4-17-76 as that 104 numerology. Jerusalem with the USA right in the middle. Talking about Zionism here. Zionism running the show. So 104th game with Seattle, symbolic number. Going for win number 65 or loss number 39. Lifetime, this is going to be his 168th game. Remember, big tribute to New York City here. We talked about New York City on the line. New York City's 168. Pete Carroll's 168th game the night before this New York City-focused election. He's coming in with 97 wins. He wants his 98th or his 70th loss. Very interesting. We can take the name gematria on Pete Carroll. We did it on Rex Ryan. Make sure you get the spelling right. Pete Carroll. Copy and paste as your friend. $53, like the number of men on a football roster. Nothing popping out too much there tonight in terms of his wins, his record. Facing the 53-year-old coach. He's 65 years old. All right, let's copy and paste their records in here. Look back at our notes, see if anything else is lining up. What bears a lot of fruit on Monday Night Football is looking up the Monday Night Football history of these teams. The Monday Night Football history often shows us a lot. I think I forgot to paste Rex Ryan's stats in here. We got a measure from Pete Carroll's birthday. Oh, it's not that important. We saw what it was. It wasn't too crucial of information. But let's measure from Pete Carroll's birthday, which was September 15th, to tonight's game. 53 days or a span of 54 days. How about that? So Pete Carroll's birthday, 54 days from tonight. Number we're looking at, 36 days from Rex Ryan's 54th birthday. Isn't it so strange how tightly all of it is scripted? I mean, do you really think it's all a coincidence that everything just lands this way week after week, these amazing alignments? Pete Carroll, September 15th to today, a span of 54 days or 53 days like his name. So Pete Carroll equals 53 days from birthday or span of 54 days. And let's also check from his last birthday. Or no, excuse me, until his upcoming birthday. His upcoming birthday, 312 days or 313. 313 is kind of scary in light of the political election. On the Zapruder film, it's slide 313 that shows JFK's head coming apart and John F. Kennedy, the name he went by. It doesn't sum to 313, but it sums to 131. And if you add it to 313, it sums to 444, like Masonic. And Zapruder was a Freemason, Dealey Plaza, where he was shot. You know, True Seeker, the more I talk out loud, the more I realize. Dealey Plaza sums to 108. Here we are talking about connections to the World Series, where we just broke the 108-year drought that's connected to this election, and there's been all this predictive programming for an upcoming major assassination. This is how it is doing this research, though, True Seeker. You know, it's connecting dots. It's putting pieces of the puzzle together. Sometimes you're going to arrive at the false conclusion, but this really is truly how all of this stuff's being scripted. So anyway, between the coaches tonight, Pete Carroll seems to have a favorable alignment with Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan has the 42 connection, though, and 42 is a big number on the game. But Pete Carroll, this is an amazing alignment in light of the 54 on the game. And remember, a lot lines up with Russell Wilson as well. But at the same time, Tyrod Taylor, his birthday's 96 days from the game. So, as always, it's a tough call. So we're going to look at the Monday Night Football records. The Monday Night Football records can tell us something. Monday Night Football records all time. Do a little web search like this. It should pop up. Here's what you want to do. You want to look at both of them. The games played. Tonight's going to be the Seahawks' 31st game. 31's the 11th prime. They have 22 wins and 8 losses. So they're either looking at their 23rd win or their 9th loss. They have a very good win record on Monday Night Football. That's one of the better. Well, look, they're actually ranked number 1 all time on Monday Night Football in terms of win percentage. Let's compare that with the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. So Buffalo Bills, this is going to be their 42nd game all time tonight. 42, this huge number on the game. They're going for their 18th win. Remember, today has 18 numerology, or their 25th loss. Or their 25th loss. So let's take some screen captures of that. Sometimes what you need to do is decode the game, marinate on the numbers, scroll back through the history, look at the past games. Sometimes in a prior game, a major clue has been left in a score. Might reveal something about the game ahead. Remember, if Tyrod Taylor loses tonight, he's going to be 11-11. If he wins, he's going to get his 12th win on the road against the 12th man. Let's go back and look at the head-to-heads between these teams and see if there was anything in those scores. Bills, Seahawks, head-to-head. All right, so again, tonight's going to be the 13th game. 13th game between these teams. 41's the 13th prime number. Seahawks is going to be their 31st game, the reflection of 13. Here's what's happened in these games in history. Wow, some big scores. The Seahawks, again, let's go back and look. The Seahawks, they lead the series 7-5. If they win tonight, they're going to be 8-5. Okay, 8 and 5's like 85. And remember, the divisors of 85 sum to 108. 85, the divisors sum to 108. The word Hillary equals 85. Talking about these parallels between the World Series and tonight's game, the baseball coding. So 8 and 5, that's interesting. Again, 7 and 6, also interesting. The year the Seahawks were established. Could that be the potential tribute? Let's look more specifically at the games played. See if there's a clue here in the numbers. The last time they played was December 16th, 2012. Let's just see how long ago that was. Sometimes it's an amazing date alignment. I don't see anything that stands out to me. Nothing that stands out that couldn't be coincidental. So that's not giving us too much. The last time they played, let's just do some date numerology in our head. 12 plus 16, 28 plus 12, 40. Numbers that didn't necessarily connect to either team. How about this game here on September 7th? Here we are in the 97th season of the NFL. This game was 8 years ago. Let's just check just in case. This is the kind of predictive programming that you might stumble upon. Last year I showed how the Broncos and Panthers, the last time they'd played, long before the Super Bowl was set, the last time they'd played, it had been a game summing to 50 points. And I said, I'm pretty sure that's your Super Bowl 50 matchup. The Super Bowl's on February 5th this year. It can be written 2/5. A lot like 25, 97th season of the NFL, 97, the 25th prime. 3,073 days. Sometimes you just got to check some of these numbers to see if they're anything, you know? 429 weeks. Nothing I know about. That game, though, September 7th, the Seahawks lost that game 10-34, a sum of 44 points. Tomorrow's election is for the 45th president, who will be the 44th person to be president. The count's been off ever since number 25. The 25th president was the 24th person because Grover Cleveland counted as 22 and 24 split term. Possible that's a narrative there. Could be a clue from September 7th. Last time they played, a sum of 67 points, number connected to women. Possible first female president elected tomorrow. The word female is 42. Game in the 42nd state. The first time they ever played, October 30th, 77. 10 plus 30 plus 77, 117. Hey, that kind of looks like today's date, don't you think? Kind of like today's date, 117, November 7th. Look at that score, True Seeker, 56-17. The Seahawks offense has been awful this year. What the fans want to see up here, I live in Seattle, is they want to see the offense ignite. Could a big scoring game come out of nowhere tonight after the Seahawks have been stagnant all year? I mean, their first game, their last game, huge scores. We'll see if we get a tribute like that. 73 points scored that night in their first game in 77. Washington, D.C. on the 77th Meridian. Hillary Clinton equals 73. All this stuff's been forecast for longer than that, True Seeker. These games, they've been all scripted all these years, over the years. The scores, the outcomes. So, you know, this is another game where it's honestly a tough call. It's a tough call to see who's going to win. Russell Wilson, 54 date numerology, span of 54 days from Pete Carroll's birthday. Pete Carroll, 65 years old. Pete Carroll, 65 years old, trying to get his 65th win tonight. Honestly, True Seeker, with this knowledge, sometimes you can read a game very clearly. A lot lines up for a team. This weekend, if you read my blog, I didn't put out the video, but I showed games where a lot lined up for a team, such as the Detroit Lions. A ton lined up for them. I didn't really see anything lining up for the Vikings. Lions won. No surprise. The Indianapolis Colts, a lot lined up for them. Chuck Pagano's 45th win, the team improving to 4-5. 45 was a huge number this week. Again, Cubs 45. I want to show you something about 45 real quick. When you write out 45, it sums to 54. When you write out 54, it sums to 54. 45 and 54 are the numbers. It's a baseball week. The Seahawks were involved in a baseball tribute. Let me see. I've been saying this throughout the video. Let's just see if it's true. Did Russell Wilson play college baseball? Or was he offered a college something? Russell Wilson, NFL baseball history. If this kid has the baseball connections, yeah, he played football and baseball at North Carolina State University. He also went to Wisconsin. So anyway, you know, if you really want to bet on the game, you know, this is a tough call. This is a very tightly scripted game. Let's again look at the wins. Russell Wilson looking for win number 58 in game number 82 against Tyrod Taylor at home. I mean, it seems like a lot lines up there. 58th win would sync with Washington. 24th loss, though, would sync with Seahawks. And sometimes when a lot lines up for a team, that team does end up losing. You guys have seen where I've made picks before that way, and it hasn't gone this way. This is why, again, I show you. This work, it can reveal a lot. It can show you certain games which are true winners. But sometimes it can only lead you so far, and you need to watch the game to learn from the lesson to see what was taken into account more importantly. If the Bills win tonight, Percy Harvin will probably have a big game. Again, Percy Harvin equals 67. Just show you this. He came to Seattle on a $67 million contract. Seahawks, first NFL season in 76. They could fall to 7-6 against the Bills tonight or improve to 8-5 like National Football League, like Hillary. Against Seahawks like Clinton. Seattle, a Democratic stronghold. You think about the home team winning against it's hard to say what the symbolism tonight of a New York team winning or losing is truly because Trump and Hillary both have the connections there. So again, let's just finally go over it, and then we'll wrap this video up. This is mostly about teaching how to decode. I would have wrote a nicer post if I wasn't trying to speed it up. You know, it takes time to copy and paste and all that. Tyrod Taylor's record falling to 5-7 with the World Series theme on the road would make an awful lot of sense. Awful lot of sense. Before I close up this video, I'll also go to the comments and see what you guys are saying in case anyone has any final questions. Let's see. I want to look at Rex Ryan's record one more time. See if we overlooked anything here with Rex Ryan. Looking for his 13th win. It is the 13th game between these two teams. 13th game. Be the 59th win all time or 63rd loss. He could also get his 13th loss in the 13th matchup. When Bills think of luck, they think they don't have it. They lost 4 straight Super Bowls, 13 associated with negative luck. Washington in simple English gematria. Should show you this too. Washington in simple English gematria sums to 130. Game in Washington State. Lose that 0, you're at 13. Honestly, if I was a gambler with this knowledge, I wouldn't bet on this game because to me, it's not clear enough. I only want to bet on games that I'm fairly certain on where a lot lines up. Like this weekend, if I was in Vegas and had to bet on a game for an upset, I would have been betting all over Lions over Vikings. Again, everything lined up for the Lions. I couldn't find any alignment for the Vikings. Colts, again, a lot lined up for. Game like this, though, hard call. So here I am in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Uh-oh. I'm reading a lot of people saying that the screen looks awful. I got to figure out how to make it higher definition. Can you guys not make out the words? Okay, I'm going over the questions. You guys, somebody just said get Tony De Lorenzi on your show. So look, here's the thing about Tony. He's a student of mine, but he continues to do foolish things like write out sentences that have no meaning to the game and use that to make predictions. You don't ever want to do that. You want to stick to what's in the game, decode that. All right, truth seekers. Well, I'm sorry that the screen was blurry. This was a trial run. Now that I know that it's blurry, I'll put up the post. And next time I'll figure out how to do it in higher def. I thought I chose the HD options. I thought it was coming through clear the way I see it. So trial run. We'll get better at this. Maybe when I upload it, it'll be clear. Somebody says okay, I must have clicked the wrong box, so I'll fix it next time. I didn't mean to do 240p, however I did that. Hey, you guys, stop hating on Tony. I don't hate on Tony. What I appreciate about Tony is that he's sharing the knowledge, he's applying it. I just wish he'd stop mixing in the bullshit, you know? Tony, if you're watching, stop making up sentences and stop forcing things. You don't want to force things, you just want to decode what is. So you guys, honestly, tonight use from what you heard about the information, from what we covered, go with your gut instinct, what you think this narrative leans towards. Towards me, based on what I've seen, it's not a clear enough read. I could see this one going either way. And again, I really do think that they do this because of gambling. I think sometimes they want to be able to go either way with the narrative. So closing questions. My girlfriend just hinted to me that I need to come eat dinner so I can be here for about 5 more minutes before she comes and, sticks a knife in my back. What are the final questions? Somebody says Rex Ryan coaching 121st game and Taylor with a win become 12-10. Hey, that's my man Bart in Portland. Great eyes. Great eyes. Again, 121 always important. Hey, as for DC, all these other questions unrelated, look, we're raising the money. I've heard from the people what they want first is the app built, the website built to get us organized. So that's the first priority. We need enough money to get that. If we raise the full $33,000, we have enough to get all that built and go to DC and create the promo video. So that's the order of operations. I'm going to use your money the way you guys want it. We need to get this network built. Why am I decoding sports? Somebody writes, why am I decoding sports? It's because the American people are fixated on sports. It's the all-seeing eye. It's where their mind's at. I'm showing them how to wake up to the lies, to the rigged sports that they're investing their time and energy in. And all of you who hate on me for decoding sports, look at what I'm doing. I'm putting out more videos than any truth channel you know of on every single... I got to cuss here. Every single motherfucking topic there is. So why are you complaining that I'm putting out extra videos on sports? I'm working hard for you guys. I'm showing you how it all is. You guys want to bitch because I'm putting out extra videos? What topic haven't I covered that you still want? The lizard people? I've never seen any lizard people in my life. Talking about things that people are invested in to wake them up. So anyway, you guys, give me some more questions. I got to go eat dinner before my girlfriend kills me. I'll answer your questions. I already did a video on the 2017 NBA. Watch my videos. Don't ask me questions. Videos I already made. And honestly, guys, I don't want to fight with the people who believe in lizard people and flat earth. I mean, if you believe in that stuff, it's cool. But, that's not the stuff that's going to wake up the people. If I'm talking to people who can't see that their sports games are rigged, that when buildings fall down and somehow the FBI comes and said they found the turbines, the paper passports, and the box cutter knives, but they can't find the planes, if I can't show people that something's wrong with that, there's no way I'm reaching them with the flat earth or the lizard people. You know what I mean? Hey, that's something we should have done. Okay, somebody asked the question. Yeah, I'll do more of this live stuff. I'll figure out how to make the screen clear. But here's something we should have done. Somebody asked a good question about this topic. Let's do this, and then I got to go eat dinner. We're going to count up the home and win-loss record for this week and see what tonight's would be based on a win or loss at home. That's something I meant to do. I almost forgot. There's all 18, 27. So anyway, here's the records this week. Falcons won on the road. So 0-1 for home teams, 1-1 with Ravens. Hold on, I got to close some windows here. I'm getting too slow. My computer can't handle it. Let me chill it out here. All right, let's start over here. So, Thursday Night Football, the away team won. 0-1 for the home, 1-1 after the Ravens game, 1-2 after the Browns game, 2-2 with the Chiefs. Date with 33 numerology, sum of 33, huh? KC 11-3. 3-2 with the Dolphins win, 4-2 with the Giants win, 4-3 with the Lions on the road, 4-4 with the Panthers on the road, 4-5 with the Saints on the road, 5-5 at home with the Chargers, 5-6 at home with the Colts upset, 6-6. Let's count twice. It's always good to double check. I think home teams are 6-6 right now. So, okay, again. 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 4-5, 5-5, 5-6, 6-6. So 6-6, like 66, NFL 66, special number, first Super Bowl at the end of the 66 season. That means if the Seahawks win at home, they'll be 7-6. Remember, 76, the year they're established. If they lose, they'll be 6-7. Percy Harvin, 67, $67 million contract. Female, 67. International Women's Day, 67th day of the year. If the team from New York wins in Washington tonight, I'll just say this to close out. If the team from New York wins, the Clinton political dynasty is originally from New York. Remember, Bill and Hillary, both born with non-Clinton last names. Bill Clinton, Bill Blythe. Hillary Clinton, Hillary Rodham. They're born into this world. They became part of this Clinton political dynasty out of New York, the original founders. Donald Trump has all these parallels to George Washington. I guess if the Bills beat Washington tonight, I think that would be a definite tribute for Hillary. But then again, Seahawks equals 87 like Clinton. So it's so tightly scripted, it's hard to get a straight read. And that's the way so many of these games are. So my recommendation to you is take this knowledge. Look at this. You guys, in my chat right now, people are fighting over the flat earth. Imagine if there was no fighting going on and everyone was just asking a sensible question to help further this study. Stop fighting about shit. I don't mean to contribute to the fights. People come and fight with me. I explain to them why I don't fight. I don't fight about the flat earth. I don't fight about the lizard people. I just stick to the topics that I know that will wake people up. So anyway, who's got the final question before I gotta go? Who's got the last question? Yeah, remember when you don't vote, you vote. Voting's validating the lie. Do not vote tomorrow. All right, you guys, what's for dinner? All right, nobody's got the question. I'm signing off. Thanks for tuning in. I'll figure out how to upload this video. I've never done this before. The screen will be less blurry next time, I promise. Sorry for not reading the comments until 50 minutes after doing the video. Now I don't even know how to log off this thing. I think this is the end, Truth Seeker. See you later.